Today on College Crossfire, we debate the panic meter of the Texas Longhorns football squad. We'll talk some NFL Week 2. We'll also debate who we thought were the biggest disappointments in the MLB this season. All of this and much more coming up on College Crossfire. Good evening to everyone tuning in tonight. We're excited that you decided to spend your late Wednesday night with us at College Crossfire, where we are live in the HSM for the first time this semester. We got plenty to talk about tonight in the world of sports, but before we get to that, I want to share that today's show is brought to you by Cap Metro, Austin's transit system. We connect you to work, school, play, and everywhere in between. So plan your ride to this weekend's game at capmetro.org. So without further ado, it's time to get into it. For those who have never tuned in before, here are the rules for tonight's show. There'll be 3 rounds containing 3 questions each. For every round, I'm going to dish out points in the amount of 3, 2, and 1 based on our contestants' answers. Whoever has the most points from their answers by the end of the 3rd round will be crowned as this week's College Crossfire champion, and we'll get the return for our next episode. But there's a catch. Everyone must know before we begin our 3rd and final round, better known as Rapid Fire, is worth double the points, meaning no lead is safe. Also, our contestants have not yet been able to see or prepare for these questions whatsoever. So they'll have to think on their feet, come up with the best idea or the best possible answer. If there's a tie by the end of the Rapid Fire, I have a bonus question ready that will help determine our Crossfire champion. Now that we've reviewed the rules, let's introduce our contestants. On first base, this guy's trying to go on a winning streak after going home the winner last week. Please welcome Colin Flickinger.
That was a pretty short intro, TJ. Well, you couldn't take time to write out anything else about me?
I mean, saying that you were the winner last week, what else do you want?
Yeah. You need to step it up, all right? I need some more praise,
you know what? That's
right?
noted, Colin. That's noted, Colin. I expect you to step up today, all right?
All right.
With the answers, okay?
I need more praise, TJ.
Oh, all right. We'll see if you deserve that. And at second base, he got called out by Colin last week, so he's trying to prove that he knows ball more. Welcome to the show, Nolan Clay. How you doing, Nolan?
I'm doing great. First of all, thank you, TJ, for having me on this week. I mean, look, I first want to apologize for the clothes I'm wearing tonight. I wanted to wear something nicer. I didn't have time to go home, so I do apologize for that. In terms of this guy, I mean, I don't even know what to say to him. I'm going to let my answers speak for themselves, and he has no chance of winning.
All right. Got some fighting words already. Got to love it for College Crossfire. And on third base, making his College Crossfire debut, everyone welcome Aidan Urbach.
Thank you, TJ. It's great to be here. I just hope I don't get flamed on social media tomorrow by my 400 friends on Instagram. And it's also, just great to be here.
Yeah, well, you got the crowd behind you, so that's a good start. So now that we've introduced our contestants, it's time to begin the game. The first question I have for you guys. The Boo Birds were flying pretty high at DKR last Saturday, where the Texas Longhorns football team struggled against Conference USA powerhouse UTEP. Although the Horns still got the win, the offense looked sluggish at times, and quarterback Arch Manning hasn't looked anything like the preseason Heisman favorite that everyone was told he would be. With that being said, on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me where your panic meter is at for this team's hope to compete for a national championship and why. We'll start with you, Colin.
Right now, I have the panic meter for a national championship set at 7, right? So this team started off really slow against Ohio State, obviously. Everyone expected them to have some tune-up games, bounce back against, UTEP and San Jose State. But that just did not happen. Arch Manning can't seem to get in sync with his receivers. He's overthrowing them, underthrowing them, throwing it 5 feet right and getting booed. It's just not going well. I think right now 7 is a reasonable place to be. But if they do not figure it out by the end of this weekend, when they have to go into the swamp, then the panic meter immediately jumps up to a level 9. You cannot enter SEC play with a quarterback performing as poorly as Arch Manning is right now.
All right, and then Nolan, what's your answer?
Folks, it's over. My panic meter right now is at a 10. Look, the offense is just terrible. Arch Manning can't hit a pass. He's throwing passes at receivers' feet. Can't hit a check down. Sark's play calling is just terrible. He's not an offensive mastermind at all. He kind of stinks at play calling, if I'm not being honest. 340 yards of offense against UTEP is terrible. 10 incompletions in a row against UTEP is abysmal. this offense thinks the defense will keep the team in most games. But the fact is, Texas will not be able to win every close game. They're going to probably drop a couple SEC games. And they just don't have a chance to win the national championship with this offense. They don't. It's over.
All right. Pretty blunt there. Aidan, round us out.
I have to agree with the two gentlemen on my right. I'm giving it an 8 right now. It would be a 10 if Michael Taft is not on the field on defense every play. I gave them a pass against Ohio State with a team that just came off the national championship. Caleb Downs, arguably one of the best defensive players in the country. But when you put up 7 points against San Jose State in the first quarter alone, and then proceed to throw 114 total yards against a non-power 4 team in UTEP, then that leaves room for concern. And right now, Arch Manning is worse than DJ Lagway. People are angry that DJ Lagway is throwing 5 interceptions. Arch Manning has a 40 on QBR going into week 4. Quinn Ewers last year, 92.
All right. Hey, bringing out the stats already pretty early. Good answers, y'all. Good answers. There's some interesting ones as well. I'm going to go with Aidan. I'm going to give you the 3 right here. I think that you had some good stats there, and also I think that you had some good emotion there. You definitely believed what you were saying. Colin, I'm going to go with you with the 2 points here because I do think
controls my YouTube, so I dedicate that to him right there. So, yeah.
And Colin, I'll give you the 2 here because I do think that you're right. I think a 7 is probably about the right place to put him. I think you can be alarmed about the offensive strategy, obviously, now because it's been abysmal, but I do think that it's definitely not time to abandon ship yet, unlike Nolan over here thinks that it is. I'm going to have to give you the 1 there.
They're definitely not playing like the 8 seed, I'll tell you that, TJ.
Yeah. No, they're definitely not playing the number 8, but I don't think the AP poll matters anyways right now. It's too early in the season, so.
Notre Dame still in the top 25 after 0-2.
Next question. While the college football season just started, the Heisman odds have shifted quite drastically, like we mentioned in the last question. Many names are in the mix, and plenty of other names can come up in the discussion in the coming weeks. So who is your Heisman favorite and why? Nolan?
Look, I thought about Carson Beck, John Mateer, Dante Moore out of Oregon, but I think pretty easily they're going to kind of fall a little bit apart once conference play starts. I'm going to go with the guy who killed Texas in the national championship game last season. I like Gunnar Stockton. I think he's a dog. I think he has a great arm. He has a dynamic running ability. He just went to Neyland Stadium, a very hostile environment, threw for 304 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, got the win. He's SEC made. And I think he's a tough, gritty quarterback. He's going to thrive in the SEC, and I think he's going to lead Georgia to an SEC championship. And I think overall, that's just going to win him the Heisman. He's going to be the quarterback of one of the best teams in the country, and he's going to do it with his arms and his legs, which a lot of Heisman quarterbacks have done in the past.
All right, and then Aidan.
I'm going to have to go with the other quarterback in the SEC, John Mateer. Just within his first year, he has totally revitalized and changed this perspective on this Oklahoma offense. Coming into week 4 last year, Oklahoma was 1-3. They're 3-0. They're 3-0 going into week 4, excuse me. And to put this into perspective, John Mateer is top 5 in passing yards with 960. Now let's go back to 2018 with Kyler Murray, okay? John Mateer is ahead of Kyler Murray in the passing column, and he's ahead of Kyler Murray 2018 Heisman campaign in the rushing column as well. Oklahoma looks very good. They're way better than UT right now, and they're only going to get better against challenging opponents such as Tennessee and Alabama. So I'm going to go with John Mateer for this one.
Gotcha. You got some strong takes there. It seemed like the camera even agreed with you. There was nodding right there, so. Colin?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Timmy from South Park, Carson Beck. When I'm looking at a quarterback to win the Heisman at the end of the season, they need not only a schedule where they do have games where they can pad their stats, which Miami does have. ACC is notoriously weak defenses. But he has also played top teams, right? They did start their season off with a win against a Notre Dame team who was much better than their 0-2 record. They did crush USF last week, who a lot of people were high on and even had them as their favorites to be the Group of 5 contender. They have some very big chances at, big wins, especially Florida State in a couple weeks from now. I think Carson Beck with an 89.9 QBR, 8th best QBR in the country, is going to be the one to win the Heisman at the end of the season.
Okay, all right. Very interesting answers. This one's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Nolan gets the 3 points here with Gunnar Stockton. I like your answer. I think he looked very strong, and I do think that he can keep that up going into SEC play.
Kyler Murray's hurt right now.
I am.
Kyler Murray?
Because going for Oklahoma,
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Colin. Colin, I'm gonna give you the 2 here because I do think that Carson Beck is definitely right now the Heisman favorite, and I think that he has shown really well. The Notre Dame game obviously was just
By the way.
was an incredible game. Well, he was a good quarterback at Georgia too. He just threw a lot of picks. You could be a good quarterback and throw a lot of picks. I think that Carson Beck is a good quarterback. And Aidan, I'm gonna go with your 1. I don't think that your answer was a bad answer in particular. I just think that John Mateer is gonna probably not keep this play up the entire season, in my opinion. He's electric. He's got a dual threat. He played great against Michigan.
Can I just say this?
Well, the points are already set.
Okay. Well,
set
can
in
I
motion.
add something real quick?
We're gonna move on to the next question.
Okay. Sorry.
On Sunday, number 2 ranked Texas volleyball remained perfect for the season with yet another top 10 victory, this time against the Arizona State Sun Devils. It was a dominant victory for the Horns where they swept the set 3-0. They are looking pretty good going into SEC play, which starts next week, if you guys knew that. But in your opinion, who is your favorite to challenge Texas for the SEC championship and why? Aidan first.
I'm going with the team that has horse racing in their state. That is Kentucky Wildcats. They're currently right now, I believe, 5-2 in conference play right now, and they look overall great. Right now they're 6. They did drop. Unfortunately, they were 3 last week. Now they're 6 in the AP poll. But I think if a team that's going to take down the predominant UT volleyball team, that is going to be the Kentucky Wildcats. Do I think they're going to do that? No, but I think the Wildcats is a better nickname or a better mascot than having Agriculture, which is College Station's mascot. So I'm going to go with Kentucky on that one.
All right. And then Colin?
I'm also going to go Kentucky. I think that this team is a lot better than the record suggests. They did unfortunately get swept by Pitt, who's now the number 3 team in the country a couple weeks ago. But they also swept the former number 3 team in the country, Penn State, and beat the, at the time, number 10 team in the country, SMU, in just 4 sets. This is a team that has a lot of returning talent. They have a lot of chemistry already, and they're really gelling together, which a lot of other teams don't have the opportunity to do. They're looking really good right now, and I think that they are, if not Texas, the most talented team in the SEC.
All right, and then Nolan, end out this block.
Look, in the SEC, if you're trying to go talent for talent with Texas, you can't do that. Texas has the most talented team in the SEC. They have the best team in the SEC. If you want to beat this Texas team, you have to do it mentally. You have to do it in their heads. And I think the team that can get in Texas' heads the most is the Texas A&M Aggies. They have a solid team this year. They just dropped their last 2 games against ranked opponents, but they've been having a solid season so far. And we saw this last year when A&M came into Gregory Gym, beat a very solid Longhorn team. And I just think you can't, just mentally, the rivalry, A&M can beat Texas head-to-head, which is why I think they can beat Texas in the SEC. I don't think they're going to do it, but I think they have the best shot.
You know what? Well, you should have said that you think that maybe give them a chance at least. But I do think that I like your answer, all right? I do think that A&M, they beat us last year at Gregory Gym. They had an upset win over Minnesota just recently. I'm going to go give you the 3 points here just for being different as well. I think that A&M is a very strong contender in the SEC. Kentucky, I think, is the obvious favorite. I like your explaining more, bringing up the past opponents in the season and also last year. Aidan, you talked about mascots, which we're not volleyball experts here, but
it's a fair take.
Uncover a mask.
You get a point in my book.
Oh, good. The first 3 questions are in the books. All 3 contestants showed some fight, but after round 1, we do have Nolan in first right now with 7 points, Colin in second with 6, and Aidan sitting at last at 5. But there's still so much more to talk about. This is still anyone's game. Coming up on the next block, we move to the professional leagues, where we will talk about NFL Week 2 and the MLB. All this will be debated coming up on College Crossfire. Welcome back to College Crossfire. After one round, we got Nolan in the lead at 7 points, Colin at 6 points, and Aidan in last place at with 5 points. Once again, overall, a great first round from our contestants, but it's time to transition to some other topics in the sports world. And beginning round 2, question number 1. Making the NFL playoffs after starting 0-2 is uncommon but not impossible, with the odds historically around 10 to 12%. And in the recent era of the 17-game schedule, however, it has actually gone more difficult to achieve the feat, surprisingly. What team that has started 0-2 has the best chance to make the playoffs, and why? Aidan, we're going to start out with you.
Okay, well, this is a clear and obvious one. Kansas City, they are the team of the decade. They're 0-2, but keep in mind, Andy Reid has never had a losing season in his tenure with Kansas City. Kansas City, they're going to get the ball running again. They actually, even though they lost against Philadelphia, there was some great things that they did. They neutralized the Eagles' identity with the run game. The Eagles average 136 rushing yards per game this year, and Kansas City limited them to 90. So I think they're playing New York, and we saw last week against Dallas that New York secondary is really not that good. So I think this is going to start. It comes back to week 4. They're going to find their identity again. And Mahomes is one of the greats, and Kansas City is going to win.
All right, going with Kansas City. Nolan, what's your answer?
Yeah, Kansas City is obviously a great pick. They have the history to back it up. But I think their division is super tough this year. I could see them dropping some games in division and making that a little bit iffy if they make the playoffs. I'm going to go with a team that has a much weaker division, the Houston Texans, 0-2 to start the season. But the people in their division, you got the Jaguars who look better. I mean, the Colts who look better as well, and the Titans. But I don't know if those teams are going to be able to keep it up the rest of the season. The Texans have offensive weapons. They have Nico Collins, Nick Chubb, Christian Kirk, who hopefully comes back soon. And then I like some of their defensive guys like Will Anderson, Derek Stingley. And I just think C.J. Stroud will not continue to play this bad. I just don't see it. There's no way. We saw what he did in his first year. How is he going to keep playing this bad? I don't think he will. I think the Texans have the best chance to win a division out of the teams that go 0-2 to start the season.
All right. Colin.
Thank God we're not talking about winning the division. We're just talking about making the playoffs. And I think the Chiefs are in the best position to do that. Yeah, but you can also make it as a wild card. So anyway, like I was saying, the Chiefs are best poised to do it because one thing I didn't hear Aidan mention is their best receiver, who is out for the first 6 games of the season, Rashee Rice, will be coming back for the meat of the schedule, right? They do have a relatively tough schedule, but 10 wins is usually the magic number in the 7-seed playoff era to be able to make the playoffs. I think that there's absolutely 12 to 13 winnable games, and the Chiefs do seem to always win games when it matters most. So I think that the Chiefs, when Rashee Rice comes back and they do once again get their offense to be the level that we know it can be, they will end up being a team that makes the playoffs at an 0-2 start.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Kansas City on this answer for sure. I'm surprised that not all of you guys picked Kansas City. I respect you for going with a different answer. I think I'm going to go with you for the 3 points here. I think Rashee Rice is a very, very important piece to this team, especially their offense. Aidan, I'm going to give you the 2 here. Nolan, I'm going to give you the 1. I think you are right, but again, it is it's about making the playoffs, not winning the division.
But I respect it.
No, I respect it too. And you know what? Maybe it comes back, and maybe we'll I don't know. Whatever. Just goes to the next question. Sticking with the NFL. Last week's slate featured a lot of exciting games across the nation. Although it may be tough to choose, tell me what team impressed you the most last week and why. Nolan, you're gonna go first.
Yeah, week 1, last year this team was, in my opinion, the best offense in the league. The Detroit Lions, week 1, they really didn't impress. They had under 300 yards of offense, only scored 13 points against the Packers, who, in fairness, have a good defense. But I was a little worried about them. Were they Ben Johnson merchants or not? But they came back this week, scored, I think, 52 points against the Chicago Bears. I'm pretty sure they had over 500 yards of offense, 2 receivers over 100 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs also had over 100 yards. They proved they weren't Ben Johnson merchants, funny enough, against Ben Johnson. And they're showing that there's still an offense to be afraid of and a contender in the NFC.
All right, and then Colin.
I went with the Colts because I think, honestly, this win was not nearly as impressive as last week's win, but what was impressive about it is that they confirmed that they are not, that first win against the Dolphins in week 1, where they scored on every single one of their drives, was not a fluke. Daniel Jones genuinely looks like an elite passer. I cannot believe I am saying those words, but he genuinely looks like an elite passer. They ended up putting up 29 points against an elite Broncos secondary featuring Pat Surtain, and they had quite a few good defensive stops against a team that did make the playoffs last year. Bo Nix did look really good up until this game, and I think that the Colts are one of the most, if not the most impressive team, not just last week, but so far in the season.
All right, and then Aidan.
Even though they did manage to lose in Jerry's world, I'm going to go with the New York Giants. I think that Russell Wilson had one of the best games he's had in a very long time, having 450 yards, which is very much a contrast from his game in Washington, which was 180 yards. In fact, TJ, did you know that the last time the New York Giants put up 35-plus was 3 years ago in 2022 in Week 17 against the Colts? I'm going to go with the New York Giants. They looked really good, even though they did manage to put up 9 penalties, which is a franchise record in the first half. They look like, and everyone likes to say that, without Malik Neighbors, there's no passing game. But they managed to show their versatility on offense with Wan'Dale Robinson, the tight end, what's his name, Johnson or something like that? Daniel Bellinger, Malik Neighbors, and then the run game. How about Cam Scatterby, a 20-yard touchdown run to the house against a defensive unit that actually got better with the additions to the Packers D tackle Kenny Clark. So, New York Giants.
You know what? I'm glad that you brought up the Giants, and I'm going to give you the 3 here, actually. I do think that the Giants, they gave up 40 points, but I don't look at Russell Wilson, man. That was the best game that he's had in 3 years, in my opinion.
He choked at the end.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm giving Aidan the 3 right here. Colin, I'm going to give you the 2 for the answer because I do think, again, I want to go with the most impressive win, or most impressive team, at least, and the Colts beating a former playoff team right there from last year.
So the team that won by 31 points?
Well, they were projected to beat the Bears.
He picked the team who lost. I should at least got the...
I gave good evidence. I gave...
Yeah, I like that. I mean, it's versatility. The Giants are looking good because they have not looked good at all in a long time.
35+ points.
Next question. Taking it to the diamond. The MLB regular season is almost over. While all the attention is focused on the team who are going to play in the playoffs, I want to talk about the teams that won't make it. Which team to you was the biggest disappointment this MLB season? Colin, you're going to go first.
You know, all offseason I heard from a lot of my O's fan friends that this team would be back where they were the previous 2 years. The pitching issues didn't matter, that the Orioles would be one of the best teams in the AL again. And then they come out, and then they're last in the AL East. They have the 7th worst team ERA in baseball, the 8th worst batting average in baseball. They suck this year. You know, I expected them to be a borderline playoff team. Wasn't very high on them, but to be the bottom of the AL East is embarrassing for a team with as much star power as the Orioles have. Oh, that's my alarm.
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry.
No.
But like I said, Orioles absolutely embarrassing season. Pitching was terrible. Hitting was terrible. Stars did not live up to any of their expectations.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then Aidan?
I'm going to have to go with the NL, the San Francisco Giants. During the first month of the season, they were on top of the NL West, in which my opinion is the best division in baseball. They were 12-4, and then they got Rafael Devers, right? And we thought, as an MLB community, we thought they were going to get better. Well, in fact, they got worse. During the second half of the season, they posted a terrible performance, 23 of 31 win-loss record, which is terrible. It's way below 500. And then they went out and they got Justin Verlander over the offseason, thinking they were going to be Tim Lincecum and Madison Bumgarner with Logan Webb. They're terrible. Justin Verlander right now is averaging a +5 ERA. They're terrible, and they're 4th in the NL West. But I don't even really count the Colorado Rockies because they're more like a AA team for the Houston Astros. They're terrible. So San Francisco Giants.
All right, and then Nolan.
Yeah, you know, this team still technically has hope to make the playoffs, but they're not going to make the playoffs. Looks pretty over for them. It's the Texas Rangers. Their pitching this year was the best in the league. It was first in runs allowed, first in OPS against, second in batting average against. I think they're the second fewest errors as well, and they wasted it. They couldn't hit a baseball if they had a tennis racket. And it's just embarrassing. It's abysmal. You cannot waste a season like that where you have the best rotation in the league, a solid bullpen. You had maybe Nathan Eovaldi's best season of his career. Jacob deGrom turned back the clock. You had guys like Jack Leiter show up, and you wasted it. You cannot waste a pitching season like that because pitching wins championships, and they did. And that's just embarrassing, and that's why they're just a disappointing season for them.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I really liked your answer with the Rangers because the pitching was the best in the MLB this season. And if you aren't going to make the playoffs with that, that is very, very disappointing. But I got to go with Colin's answer. I know that the AL East is a super, super competitive division, but the Orioles were a 100-win season just 2 years ago. They had a great year last year. They should have been able to bounce back, and they ended up having a terrible season. Not even close. I mean, the Tampa Bay Rays are going to pass them, they are past them, and they are going to continue to be past them. So I have to go with that. Nolan, I'm going to give you the 2 with the Rangers, again with the pitching stat, and then Aidan, I'm going to give you the 1 here. I think the Giants' second half has been pretty bad, but they are currently looking like they might make the playoffs right now, so I don't know if that's too much of a disappointment. But another round is in the books, and right now we have Colin leading at 14 points. Aidan and Nolan tied at number 2 at 11. After the break, it'll be time to head into the most exciting part of the night, rapid fire. The intensity is going to turn up, and if you want to win, it's going to be all gas, no brakes. You won't want to miss it. Coming up on College Crossfire. Welcome back in the College Crossfire. 2 blocks down and only 1 remains. Rapid fire. This next round is for it all. Once again, the points are doubled and the panelists have not prepared for these questions. It's going to be all gas, no breaks from here on out. Let's get right into our first question. We got an exciting rapid fire this time. Number 1, Austin, Texas is a large city with plenty of places to go. While Austin isn't particularly considered a sports city, there are plenty of places to go to watch a big game. With that being said, tell me your favorite place to watch a big sports event in this city and why. Take your time. You guys just not watch games here?
You know, as a man that loves some hot wings and a man that believes the Pluckers has some of the best hot wings in the country, I love going to Pluckers. You know, after the game on Saturday, him and I actually did go down to Pluckers to watch the A&M Notre Dame game. And I don't know, we thought we'd wait for a while, but we did find some open seats.
That's pretty pleasant.
Pre-seat. It was pretty nice. But you know, getting in there, getting 5 Baker's Gold, 10 medium buffalo. Oh my God, I was feasting. When I saw Vanderbilt beat South Carolina, I was elated. Right. So Pluckers, great atmosphere, even better wings. Got to go with that.
All right. I think the wings aren't top tier, but they are a great atmosphere there.
So does this have to be a football game?
Any sport.
Any sport? Yeah. So I'm gonna go with one of my favorite places to go is the Tavern. You know, I go there for my Arsenal watch parties. Love it there. The atmosphere is great. We got guys singing. We got some great food like fish and chips, a lot of fried stuff, even some healthy options. They have some great salads as well. It's just a fun atmosphere, having a community of people watching soccer together. It doesn't get much better than that, and I've really enjoyed going there the past couple of years. Shout out to the Tavern and the Austin Gooners. No, not that type of Gooner. They're called the Gooner. Like Arsenal fans are called Gooners. Yeah, I'm just making sure they know. I'm not a weirdo.
Great food options, and the first thing you said was fish and chips, dog.
Yeah, but because it's like British.
Yeah, that's big. All right. Hey. What do you got, Aidan?
We're watching English soccer.
Hey, let Aidan speak.
Pluckers, are we joking? We're going to go for a chain. Let's go. Austin's known for great meat, right? And I'm talking barbecue, okay? I'm going to go with Cooper's. They got some great live music, right? And y'all are childish. They got some great live music. And if I want to watch the Horns play, why not combine a great football team with some great barbecue, okay? I'm talking the brisket sandwich from did I say Cooper's? What did I say?
No, where did you
say? You said Cooper's.
Coopers or what?
You said Cooper's.
Both of them.
Do you not know?
Cooper's. They're all great. Cooper's is the best barbecue. It's traditional. It's backyard barbecue. It's great. It's great for the summertime. It's great if your kid gets an A on his math test. It's a great place for a sports event.
Yeah. By the way, I actually did watch Cooper's. I watched Thursday Night Football at Cooper's, actually.
By the way, fish and chips watching British soccer. I mean, that's
Nolan, the points have already been tallied, all right? Look, I'm surprised none of y'all said at home. I thought one of you guys were actually going to say at home. All right.
But I do enjoy it.
Next question. Nothing beats going to an MLB game and enjoying the sounds and sights of America's pastime. Unlike most sports, there are plenty of fans in the MLB who have made it a life goal to visit all 30 MLB ballparks in their lifetime. In your opinion, what is the most beautiful ballpark in the MLB and why?
Look, I've been to this ballpark before. It's Petco Park in San Diego. It's a beautiful scene in downtown San Diego. The weather there is beautiful more often than not. And what's so cool there at Petco Park is it's so family friendly. They have a playground for kids to play. There's even like a craft beer, kind of almost like a craft beer expo. People can get a lot of stuff. No, I mean, my dad was there. And there's just a lot of, it's so family friendly. You can take the family out to get for the ball game. It's just, and you get to watch a great baseball team, by the way. And it's just a cool park as well. You got like the cool little factory like stuff in, what is it, left field? You know what that's called? Like the mining.
I know what you're talking about, though.
But Petco Park is such a cool park, and I really hope I get to go back one day.
Yeah, great baseball team now, but not great history, though. I'll give you that. But no, or Colin?
Anytime I get to talk good about the city that I love the most in this country, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I'm going to. I think PNC Park, with the backdrop of the city, when, especially at a night game, I was lucky enough to go to a couple of them this summer, when the lights are on the field and you can see the city skyline all lit up. It is one of the most beautiful sights in baseball. There's not a whole lot of things that Bob Nutting gets right, but the PNC Park being built under his ownership, that park is beautiful. I love walking along the right field wall, looking at the river, getting to see the city in the background. I think it is one of the most well-constructed and one of the most beautiful parks in the MLB.
All right, Aidan.
I'm going to stay with the NL. I'm going to go Wrigley Field just because of the traditions, you know, Cubby Bar. If you don't have tickets to go to the stadium and watch the Cubs play, you can go to Cubby Bar and get drunk and watch Anthony Rizzo or Chris Bryant hit a home run. I've been to Wrigley, yeah, and no, but no, I have not. I mean, there's so many traditions. If you like Pearl Jam, right, you can watch Eddie Vedder sing the national anthem. You can do that cup thing, that cup line. I don't know if y'all saw with Anthony Rizzo. There's just so many traditions. It really is America's pastime, and I mean, PNC Park is a great place. Petco is a great place, but I mean, if we're really talking down tradition, we have to go Wrigley.
All right, and then we finally have made it to our final round. Last question of the night. Sports jerseys are more than just uniforms. They're iconic symbols of team pride, history, and fan loyalty that often define a franchise's identity. From bold designs to timeless classics, every sport has its standout looks. And to you, which professional or collegiate sports teams across any league has the best jerseys and what makes them so special to you?
The best jerseys right now?
Well, just any at all time in history.
Let me show you what I believe to be the most beautiful jersey in NHL history. It is the 2008-2009 Pittsburgh Penguins Winter Classic jersey. This baby blue color that the Penguins, for some reason, abandoned in the 1970s to get the black and gold to fit in with the rest of the city. It is absolutely gorgeous. Here, take a look at it, TJ.
I'm saying
the baby blue, the powder blue, is amazing. I love the single stripe with the navy blue detailing on it. It's got the Pittsburgh Penguins logo, the circle logo that they abandoned for some unholy reason. But I think that this jersey, as well as the Penguins regular season jerseys, who are consistently ranked as some of the top in the NHL, but this specifically is a great place in my heart. I believe it is the best jersey in NHL history.
All right. Are you a fan of the Pittsburgh all having the same colors?
No.
So you like the baby blue there?
Variations.
All right. Nolan? Aidan?
Give me the Aidan, yeah.
I'm going to have to go with NBA, and it's the Miami Vice City jerseys, right? And Miami has this tradition of having really loud colors, right? Pink and turquoise, most notably. But with Miami, what they did was on the print, the layout, they had each of their jerseys color in their past history, and they printed it out. So like the Heat would have like the H would be a 2005 Heat symbol, and the E would be the 2008 symbol. It's just, to me, it really speaks volumes of what the city stands for, and it's a great jersey to look at. I mean, Dwayne Wade hit a nice game-winning shot his last game in a Heat uniform with that jersey I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go Miami. Okay.
Yeah. Those are classic frat party jerseys for sure. Nolan?
I'm kind of blinking here, but I'm gonna go with the jersey that I always was special to me growing up. I think just the Stormtroopers Texas used to wear. I mean, they still wear them, but the Stormtroopers all white Texas wore. It just, for me, such a classic jersey. Wear it on a night game. I've seen them wear it on a Thanksgiving game before. It just, nothing beats watching your favorite. It just gives me the memories of watching my favorite football team coming out of the stadium in the all white Stormtroopers, just looking fresh, looking clean, and yeah, I mean, it just gives me a lot of great memories to when I was a kid just watching Texas football. So I'm going to go with that.
All right. Well, I'm rounding up the final answer or final tally right now. Let me make sure I got this right, because this is very, very close. I got to make sure. Carry the 2. Yeah, I think I tallied these up pretty accurately. We do have ourselves a winner tonight. With that being, yeah, we do have a winner. All right. Drum roll, please. That winner is, by 1 point, Aidan Urbach on his first time on. You got FaceTime? Yeah, we got time for FaceTime. Go ahead, speak it.
So one player I like to idolize, I'm a huge tennis fan, and he has a signature word he says after every match, and that is Rafael Nadal, vamos, okay? Vamos. It was great to it was great to be here, TJ. I love ranting, and yeah, no, this is great. It was great to share the floor with you guys. You guys did great, and I'm terrible with words. I usually let Morgan Freeman do the talking, but unfortunately I don't have connections with him. But yeah, it's great to be here.
All right. Winning by 1 point. Hey, you joined the club. You know who also won the first time on College Crossfire? You. Yeah. Good. Hey, great guess. Hey, congrats to you again, man. And that will wrap things up for us here on College Crossfire tonight. Thank you to everyone who makes this show possible, from the contestants to the in-studio personnel, all the people in Master Control, especially our executive producer, Gabriel Silva. And to you, the audience, thanks for watching. Remember to tune into our other shows, the 1-0 Sports Show on Friday at 11 and College Press Box next Tuesday at 6. We're glad you joined us here for College Crossfire and hope to see you next Wednesday at 9. This has been TJ Krulowitz. Have a great night.